Beep 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 Oh, that's right, I'm not a singer. Oh, that's right, I'm not a singer. He's not a singer, he's not a singer. He's gonna do the beginning of the show how I like to do. I'm gonna do the beginning of the show, beginning. It's a beginning of a show. What's up, everybody? How you doing? What's going on? It is Friday, the Ford of January. Oh, my lordy, you guys. It is 2019, and are we kicking it off? Sweet. YouTube says we got one person watching. Yes. All right. Well, that was my goal. Get one person to watch, so we've eclipsed the goal. Or, no, we've reached the goal. We've reached the goal. Okay, we've reached the goal of one person watching. Thank you very much for one person tuning in. I appreciate it. Thank you for coming out on a glorious Friday. Oh, my God. I'm peaking. Oh, my God, I'm peaking. I better turn the mic down. There we go. How's that? A little bit better? I think I was I was recording some quiet talking, and I had it all turned up super loud. Sorry about that. Robert Jones says, brought to you by... Oh, that's a good point. Let me see here. Hold on. Let me see if I can do... Let me see if I can do this. Let me see if I can do this live. We'll test this out. Where is that file? It is in eDrive M.2 January Okay, that's where it is. Let me see if I can do this. Let me see. Okay, media files. Then we got to go over here. Then we go to this. Then we go to E. Then we go to renders. Then we go to renders. Then we go to images. Oh, dude, I can do it live. Yeah, check that out. I can make a little easy green pop up there in the corner. How about that? Let me see if I can get an arrow. Let me see if I can get an arrow, you guys. Media files. There we go. We'll go down to that. Oh, man, here we go. Oh, there's a big arrow now. Oh, can I turn it? Oh, I can make it bigger. I can make it smaller. I don't think I can turn it. Can I turn it? Rotate. Where's the effects? Whoop. Layout. Maybe I can rotate it. Flip. Whoop. Oh, that flips that. Let me see here. Oh, whoa, that made it super small. Okay, that'll make it big. Wonder how to make it small. How can I rotate it? I can't rotate it. I don't know how to rotate it live, but I can make the arrow move around. I can be like, yeah, go, yeah, arrows. Okay, seriously, let's turn this off. This is ridiculous. Sorry, guys. Yeah, anyhow, check that out. I can do a little easy green, though. I wonder if I can, let me see if I can put a layout, 3D rotation. Oh, man, I can do 3D. What does that do? That makes it all short and squingy. Oh, that's great. Oh, I'm very much enjoying that. What else can I do with it? Can I rotate it? Oh, I can rotate it. I can rotate it on the X and Y axis. So maybe I could have done that with the arrow. Hold on, let me see here. Let's see if I can do that with the arrow. So layout. So I got to do 3D project. Oh, man, it made the arrow insane. Oh, the arrow is bonkers now. Oh, here we go. Yeah. Oh, no. It looks like an arrow now, doesn't it? Okay, arrow. Oh, I made it move. I could rotate it. Oh, this is the stupidest show ever. Sorry, guys. I do realize anybody new is going to be like, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen. It's just a weirdo in his computer getting ridiculous. But we normally talk about fish and fish stuff, and I guess the whole reason that We even hold on a minute here. I guess the whole reason I started screwing around with that, I wanted to see if I could. Oh, that's how I rotate it. Oh man, we're just learning today. We're learning, you guys. Oh man, I wish I could just make it like slowly rotate around like this. There's got to be a way to do that. There's got to be a way to make it rotate. You know? Yeah, buddy. Anyhow, who is saying brought to you by? I don't know if this is Robert Jones was saying brought to you by. You know, here's the thing. Aquarium Co-op is our affiliate sponsor. So if you guys do feel like going there to buy stuff, if you go through our affiliate link, it does give us credit. It lets them know. And as you guys know, I utilize a lot of the products from there. I also work for Corey part-time. So, you know, take that with a grain of salt or whatever. You know what I mean? I use the products that I find agreeable. Like, I don't use the intake filter sponges. Like, I don't use those, you know? That would be a perfect example. Like, it's a good product. A lot of people like them. I don't use them. But I do use Easy Green. I use Easy Iron from the Aquarium Co-op. I don't use the Easy Carbon, even though I tested it out. I found it to work the way that it was supposed to work. I just... I use CO2 on my aquariums, so I don't necessarily dose liquid carbon. You know what I'm talking about. Donald's Fish Vibes, what happened? Oh, don't delete that. You can ask if I smoked some herbs. I don't. I have been sober today. Let me see here. Let's go to the counter. Oh. Sorry, I need to grab the other mouse. That's how crazy it is around here. There's multiple mice in here. 1,697 days I have been sober. Yes, it's been a wild day, though. I've been up super early. I was up super early, and I've been working and trying to get everything done, and it has been wild. We have a new washer and dryer was dropped off today down in the basement, so I'm running the water for it. I'm running the power for it. I have to run the ventilation for it, and it's slightly different than a typical dryer that I've ever set up before because it has steam options. Not that big of a deal, but that's what's going on in my neck of the woods. It's been a little bit wild, so yes, I am a little bit jacked up on coffee and running around. You know, I've been definitely running around all day. So, Mrs. Thomas, 1989, just ordered a filter sponge and some Easy Green via my affiliate. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate it. You guys know I appreciate it. Muchas gracias. And, you know, as you guys know, I only give you guys recommendations on stuff that I use. You know, like Seachem salt. I use Seachem salt in my reef. I know a lot of people have seen my, you know, wondering what the heck Matrix was when they sent it to me and realized that it's pumice. Like, yeah, man, it's high-grade pumice. But somebody was asking me, they were like, yeah, I can't go to the rock yard and get high-grade pumice. And I was like, okay, I get it, but that's what it is, nevertheless. Amazon. Let me go to Amazon real quick here, and I will show you how easy it could be to order some pumice. Oh, let me see. I got to go. I have to go over here to the cart. Hold on a second. And then I have to look up. Oh, how do I do this? Oh, I search from here, I think. Pumice. From the cart. No, I can't. I can't check the cart. That's not it. That's not it. This will take just a second. Oh me, oh my, oh. I don't know why it's not. I thought it was in my store. Pumice. This will take a second. Sometimes you have to look around on the internet. Ah, here it is. The Dirt Farmer. Mr. Dirt Farmer. I don't know who that is. I'm not affiliated with this person at all. But they sell giant bags of the high-grade pumice. And there's a link for it right there for you. So in case you guys are interested. Now, one of the reasons I brought that up for is in the past, and I posted a video about it, and a lot of people were super pissed. Now, the other person that was in that video is a geologist. The other person hand coming in there is a geologist. And the reason I was upset about getting Matrix is that it was a pumice product in a bucket, and I didn't get a lot of it for the price. I'm not mad at pumice, and I'm not mad at Seachem for selling pumice as a biomedia. It works great as a biomedia. As a matter of fact, it does exactly what biomedia is supposed to do. It's a porous area in which bacteria can colonize, and does a great job. It doesn't really break down over time if it's a high grade. If you get some low grade pumice, you'll have problems. It will, as a matter of fact, break down. But it was a small amount in a bucket, and I paid a lot of money for it. And that was my big issue. It wasn't really that. Wasn't really like, I'm not like mad at Seachem, but you do have to remember that most large companies out there have some products like that, even though they have a bunch of great products. Like I use their reef salt. Their reef salt is awesome. It's fantastic. I forget who I was talking with one of their reps earlier today from a different company, and they were like, why aren't you using ours? And I'm like, you never sent me any, and I'm not going to go out of my way to buy something else when my local store has the salt that I use. So not only do I support the local guy, because they sell it at the same price as Amazon does, so I'm willing to just drive down the street and get it. And Seachem salt is awesome. Like, I love their reef salt. It's fantastic. It's totally stable. It gives me exactly what I'm looking for every single time. Like, I've never gotten weird readings out of it or anything like that. But a lot of companies do carry what's called a loss leader or something like that. Like, they'll just pick up a product and start carrying it because it's very minimal output as far as the company goes compared to how much money they can make off of it. And that's just the nature of a corporation. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad at anybody doing that. I was just mad at the amount that I got for the price that I paid. It was good quality product, but they went super cheap on how much they were sending me. What's my opinion? So, that link that I put there, it's just some Amazon company that sells really high quality pumice. That's a giant box. That's like a huge box for like $60. You could probably just set up a whole fish room with that amount. Just to give you an idea, like that little bucket that they sent was like $38 or $39 or something like that. So, just one of those things. Oh, let's see. We got Big D Smoke in the chat. Let me do something here. Real quick. I'm gonna do a thing. So I've been one of the things I've been doing is figuring out a new way to hold on a second here. This is gonna take a second. I have to go to a whole different file group in order to try and do this. But this is something I've been working on, is getting some. Oh damn! I can't really tell which one it is. Let me see. Maybe it's this one? Dang. It's not the right one for what we're talking about. Wheat. But I think one of them that I have in here, media files. Let me see. Maybe I can just like pile them all on here live and then see what people say. Let me see. No. Is that it? No. Man, I thought I had a comment from Big D Smoke that I was gonna put on here, but anyhow, he's from Tacoma, so that's cool. You know what I mean? And what's up? I don't know what he was saying in the chat, but I just saw his name. Big D Smoke was saying that's good to know, the Amazon affiliate link. Thanks. Yes, I do have an Amazon affiliate. I am an Amazon affiliate guy. What do you call it? They have like a stupid name for it now. Influencer. Or it's like, are you an influencer? I don't know that I'm an influencer. If I find a good Amazon link, I'll give it to you guys. Now, here's the thing about Amazon affiliates. It doesn't matter what you buy at Amazon. Somebody is getting the affiliate credit. And if you don't know, anytime you accidentally click on an ad or go through a portal or something like that, cookies will be stored in your computer, in your phone, in whatever web browser you have or whatever. And whoever the last person is that sent you to Amazon is going to get credit for whatever you buy, whether it's vitamins, a brand new camera, SD cards, or anything like that. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know. They think they're just on Amazon buying stuff. But the last thing that you accidentally clicked on, and you wonder why pop-up ads and stuff like that occur, that's why, is that those things that you accidentally pop-up ads and things like that that you accidentally come up on, they're going to store a cookie. And when you go to Amazon to go buy stuff, they're going to be like, oh, the last thing that they clicked on was, congressman arrested for pantyhose indictment. You know what I mean? Like, you were just wanting to know what was going on with your congressman, and it turns out that it was a false, it was like some weird pop-up ad website or something like that. Like, they're going to end up getting credit for it. So I always try to remind you guys, like, maybe go to a local charity, maybe some kind of creator that you know, whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be me. I'm not saying, like, you got to go with me, man. But just make sure you do something before you go to Amazon and put everything in your cart and order it. Because you might be contributing to something that you don't want to be giving money to. And that sucks. That would suck if you didn't know that. So I just try to tell people that. That's how it goes. I mean, it's pretty obvious if you go through my portal over to Aquarium Co-op and like buy some Easy Green or Easy Iron or something like that. It's pretty obvious, that that's what's going on. But you might not know if that's happening to you when you go to Amazon. So, and especially if you're going to go to Amazon and make a big purchase, like let's say you're going to go there and have to replace your broken computer, which was well over $1,200 worth of stuff. I keep laughing at that because I just paid the credit card bill. Anyhow, before you do that, you just make sure you go through somebody's affiliate link so that that advertising dollar is going to go to somebody that somebody that you appreciate. You know what I mean? Like whether it's George Farmer or Bob Steenfott or whoever could be in the chat today lurking around. That's like an influencer type person. You definitely want to do that before you go there. And I try to find a charity before I go there. That's just personally for me, or somebody I know. You know what I mean? Like if I saw that George had one, I would go there, and be like, oh, because he was in the chat, I'm going to shout him out. You know what I mean? Like give George a shout out. It's amazing to see how much success George has going on. And not only is that good, it's not only do I appreciate it and think it's good, I couldn't think of somebody that is more worthy of getting some of that praise, some of that success, getting some of that success and good things going. I'm telling you, I watched one of his videos the other day and I realized he's got like 5 sponsors now, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. That's fantastic. That's just, you know what that says to me? That says we're going to get more George Farmer videos, and I'm all for it. So that's totally cool to me. It's great to see some fish, I don't know, aquascapers. There we go. That's a good word. Some aquascapers getting the love and getting some, being able to pay the mortgage and stuff like that. It's a reality. It's a reality of life that we all have to pay the mortgage and keep the roof and keep the food and keep the lights on and all that kind of stuff. So, but mad props to that guy. Let's see. Miss Linear said, thanks, Candy. How do I order it to give Joel credit? I didn't understand how to do that. So if you guys are confused about that, if there's a link, you can click on it and it will take you to like, Aquarium Co-op. It takes you there, and it, you just put stuff in your shopping cart and then go from there. That's it. That's all you have to do. Super easy. Super duper easy. Let's see here. Well, I'm trying to keep up with the chat. You guys are chatting a lot today, which is good. I like that. It's good to see you guys being feisty. I like it when I see you guys being feisty. Oh, we got a super chat here from Joel G in New Zealand, Mr. Gillette himself. Sponsored by Joel Aquarium, Gillatop. I would say, yes, this show is sponsored by Joel Gillett. This show is also sponsored by Rombast with the Swedish Krone super chat. Thank you, my guy. Very much appreciate it. Along with the... oh, gosh, have we lost some... I think we've lost some patronizers. Oh, we're down to 272. That's all right. I very much appreciate the 272 patronizers that patronize, that help promote this show and stuff. And speaking of that, I'm probably going to be putting something out in the next couple of weeks onto Patreon. I want to let you guys know where this is headed on Patreon, but I also want to let you guys know on YouTube where I'm headed here, and the reasons being, and one of a good example of that. Okay, that's not it. Here we go. This is it. This is a perfect example right here. This isn't the only comment I've ever gotten like this. This is one of many that I've gotten like this from Al's Critters. Says, love this video. I wish there were more videos of people doing room tours of others who don't necessarily do YouTube. Since many of the room tours are of the same YouTubers rather than these types of hobbyists, it's always nice to see other people's setup and ideas of a fish room. So this was posted on the Last Legacy, I think is, I want to say that video, which is a perfect example of what I'd like to do, but it's not as good a quality as what I'd like to do moving forward. So bear with me on that, you guys. I get it, because of hold on a minute. Let me see here. Let me get media file. Where did that go? Maybe it's this one? No. That's from Jackson. What's this one? Nope, that's from that one. I'm going to have to name these in the future, moving forward. That's definitely going to be an issue. Media files. Maybe it was this one? Nope. Now we've got two of those. Let me delete that. Hold on a second. Remove. Okay. Add source. Media files. Wah! Uh-oh. We don't want that. Add source. Media files. Oh, where did it go? Where did it go? Maybe I decided not to put it in. Oops. Okay. Well, either way. Because of a lot of comments that people are like, hey, man, you know, this cameraman sucks. And I'm like, dude, yeah, I get it. It's me. It's like, thanks, man. But that's a big part of where I want to start taking this channel. So the Last Legacy tour, perfect example. I want to go to some places where people are like, you know, they're just some people that have been fish keeping for a long time, and go and do more of those and be able to show up with 3 cameras, set things up, get some good exposure from some good fish rooms out there, and continue the process of doing that kind of stuff. And, you know, I've had a lot of conversations recently because I've been getting tagged in a lot of Facebook posts about Aquashella and I think I was tagged in a MACNA convention post and a aquatic experience along with some other stuff. And I just want to be real clear here and real transparent with everybody. I don't know that I'm going to be going to any more conventions. I don't know, man. I've been mulling it over. It's been on my mind. I know that you guys have, over the last week, I've brought it up, and I want to bring it up again because, you know, today's the Friday show dedicated to the fans, dedicated to the Patreon questions, all that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking the direction that I want to go in is more doing some room tours, going places, meeting people, either long-term fish keepers, short-term fish keepers, whatever. But you know, people that aren't necessarily doing YouTube and whatnot, that aren't doing that kind of stuff. Now, Bentley, I see him in the chat right there. I'm going to be going out there and do some more documenting at Bentley's place. Now, he is a newer YouTuber, but he's close to me, and we have a plant relationship. We trade plants. We do all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go over there and probably shoot some stuff with him at some point in time fairly soon, but that's a good example of somebody who's close. But I also want to go to some places that's farther away, and I don't know where I had a, let me see here. Oh, that's the arrow. The arrow's back. Hold on. I got to go over to scene 5. Nope. Scene 4. Okay, hold on. So let's go like this. Go like that. Oh. Go like that. Oh. Go like that. Oh, here we go. Shelby Ray had posted it. She says she would like to double, triple, or it would be double, triple, super awesome for you to take us along with you on a trip to see and visit Caleb and to Kang's to help build and automate his fish room. It would so much rather see that than a video of Aquashella or Aquatic Experience. Now, so here's the thing, is that somebody like Shelby is somebody who has been supporting this channel and commenting, watching videos, all that kind of stuff for a really long time. And this is a perfect example right here where I'm like, I would like to be able to put stuff out that people don't have exposure to, right? So it is kind of, you know, if I go to a convention, it's sort of like, yeah, there's already 40 other YouTubers there. And to be brutally honest with you, I would leave it up to Simply Beta to handle documenting it for me. You know what I mean? And just be like, or Tazawa's Tanks. I'll let Zenzo post a video and let me know how it went. Or Aqua Pros post a video. Or Corey from Aquarium Co-op. Or Bob Steenfont. Or Jimmy. Or, you know what I mean? Like or KG Tropicals, who's in the chat right now. You know, there's going to be so many videos from that stuff that I'm like, what am I bringing to the table? Like, first of all, I'm not a better cameraman than a lot of the people. Second of all, I don't even really get an opportunity to, like, interview anybody or anything like that. Nobody really wants to interview me when I go there. So I'm like, I don't know what the value is bringing, and it takes a ton of resources to go do it. You know, when I went to Aquatic Experience, cost about $1,800. You know, right in that range there. Was gone from my family while Vicky was super pregnant. I don't know that I want to be gone while Olivia is a super tiny baby. You know what I mean? Unless it's something that I'm bringing something to the table. You know what I mean? And I want to bring stuff to the table for you guys that you may or may not have access to. So I'm going to keep going that route. Preston John just posted in the chat, like, his fish room is open for me to come there. He's down in Phoenix, Arizona, which that's a perfect example of somewhere that I would like to, like, fly down. I could hang out for 2 days. You know, I could, like, fly in the morning, hang out for a day, shoot some stuff, and then, you know, like, maybe go out to dinner, hang out with some people, whatever, that kind of thing. Shoot some more video the next morning in case we screwed something up. Maybe we got the audio wrong, this, that, and the other thing. Fly back. And, you know, realistically, that would cost less than going to a big convention, staying in a hotel, and doing all that crazy stuff. I'd go and sleep on the floor. Mateo says, when is the tour of Idaho? I realistically, I want to do a stop in Idaho and out to Montana and back. And I'm hopefully, you know, it's really difficult to do that right now because of weather. I don't know if you guys know anything about Idaho, Montana, Eastern Washington, all that kind of stuff. It is a high plains desert out there, which means it is ice cold and covered in snow. So, and going through the mountain passes, you have to go through, to get to Montana, you have to go through, I want to say 4 passes, I think, and 2 mountain ranges, 4 passes, I think is right. I might be wrong. It might be more passes than that. It might be, but I know it's 2 mountain ranges. So there's a lot to go through in order to get out there. And so I'm thinking that maybe April, like, would be about the time frame, which would put me right in the time frame of going to, like, Aquashella or something like that. So I think I'd rather, you know, take Vicky and the baby, or even just myself, and just red eye out there, drive all night, and go that route. Because, I mean, I could drive to Montana in, give or take, 12 hours. About 12 hours, something like that, depending on, well, there isn't traffic at night, which is why I travel in the darkness. In the darkness of night, traffic is light. Is that how that goes? Is that a song? I don't think that's a song. I may have just made that up. I'm not sure. Oh my God, super chat from the fish tank barn. Well, thank you, Mike. We got a super chat from Mike. It says, you can shoot the fish barn anytime you want. We'd love to ride along and just watch how to really film it properly. I'd be a bad example of like how to film it properly. Yeah, but I think this comment right here. Oh, where did my arrow go? Oh, I gotta find my arrow. I gotta get my arrow back. Oh, okay. Hold on. I gotta. Okay, scene 1. Then I gotta go down here. Where is it? There it is. Then I gotta copy that. Then I gotta go back over here. Then I gotta go paste. Let's paste it as a new source. Oh, but it's not rotated. Let's go like that. We'll put it down there. People will tune in like, what is going on with this guy's overlays, man? He's out of control. And you might be right. You might be right, folks. I might be out of control. I might be a loose cannon. Oh, bingo. There we go. I just had to rotate it that way. But this comment right here would be a perfect example of me just kind of going like, that's what I was thinking, and that's what I want to keep doing. And you know, I've utilized the Overhauls family as a perfect example of somebody I would love to drive out to and go out there, maybe bring something cool to them, maybe not bring something cool to them. I don't know. I'm not making any promises. I might just only be able to bring my pseudo functional human body out there. And maybe that would be enough. Maybe I could come out there and swing a hammer around and help you out with something. I don't know. Maybe I could dig a hole. Maybe you need a hole dug, and I could be like, I know the pointy end goes in the ground, you know. So, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. I don't know. If I'm wrong, throw a comment down there and be like, nah, man, we need you to come to a convention. I don't know. I would say if there's 200 individual comments down below this live stream that say you really need me to come to a convention, I would think about it. I would consider it. But I don't make it mince words. Oh man. Elflower 1 star says that arrow's way too big. Hold on, let me make it tiny. Tiny arrow. Whoops. Moving the whole camera. Don't do that. I'm going to look down here at this tiny script and figure out which one says arrow all in it, all crazy. There we go. Tiny arrow. But I can also make arrow mucho grande. Mucho grandote. Okay, get out of here, arrow. All right. Anyhow, let's go over to the other scene, and then we'll be able to look at the video. So this is why you guys had to wait. You guys had to wait a couple extra minutes because we were rendering this giant file down. And this giant file of video right here is brought to you by... I put some ONIP tabs on my fish tank. That's the thing. You could 100% get some ONIP tabs from Amazon. You could get ONIP tabs from Aquarium Co-op. You can get them from wherever. Do what you like. But I dig these ONIP tabs. They're made by Sera, S-E-R-A, which is a German company, which I had the pleasure of having many conversations with their guys, their developers, their salesmen, their, I want to say their CEO, but not the owner. Owner didn't speak English, but we definitely went over and over and over this products and the stuff that they have going on. And I really do hope someday to be able to go tour their facility and look at some of the actual breakdown and hopefully film that for you. But I don't know if I'll ever make it out to Germany ever again. It seems doubtful at this point. I thought, man, maybe once a year I'll be able to make it out to Europe or something like that. But at this point, it's looking like maybe not so much. But, that's life sometimes, right? Like, that's life. where you're like, hey, I think a thing is going to happen, and it turns out the thing is not so much the thing that you thought it was. As who was quoting me saying pseudo-functional? Stephen Pope says pseudo-functional is now a thing because Corvus says so. Right. Mary Ann says, we don't need you to come to a convention unless you are setting up a really cool setup for us to watch. Okay, all right. See, that's a perfect example right there. I'm probably not going to set up a really cool setup unless you go to the Aquatic Gardeners Association convention, which I will be at that convention, and be, helping the Aquarium Co-op set up and break down what seems to be a really cool idea. It's probably going to be a really cool display. I can't tell you what it's going to be or look like or any of that kind of stuff, but I do know that I will be involved in helping set it up and that kind of stuff. So I will be at the Aquatic Gardeners Association convention as much as I can be, and that will be exciting. So if you guys do make it out this way, yes, that would be cool. If not, I'll do my best to shoot some video of it and let you know how it went. But, yeah, Can you guys hear that when I do that? Oh, yeah. That's the thing that I clean my lenses off with. That's hot in here. It's super hot in here. I turned the heat up so the baby would be warm, and I feel like I'm about to have heat stroke. But that's all right. Let's see here. So this video here is actually the Sarah Onip tabs. I put 5 of them on the tank there to let the rummy nose feed on. You guys can see the bristle nose showing up. I don't know if any of the puffers showed up while the video was shooting, but this is over about, I want to say at least a half an hour's time. It's about a half an hour. I didn't set this up as a time lapse. I actually shot the video so that I could do some slow, I could slow it down and do that kind of stuff. And, later on, add it into a video at some point in time, sneak it in there and be like, man, look how good these ONIP tabs are. They definitely go for it. They like it. One of the big benefits I like about it is that you can stick it to the glass. I've noticed that other companies have started copying that recently, and that makes sense. Makes sense to me. But you can see the bristle nose showing up, the super reds. Man, there's at least 3 full-grown ones down there. They're not full-grown, but sorry. They're not full-grown. They're adults. There's at least 3 adult ones in there. I think I see another 4th one in the back, kind of sneaking around back there, being sneaky. They are definitely breeding 100%. There are a ton of super red babies in there. I'm just kind of growing them up, and we will be once they're big enough, we'll be transferring some of them over to Alyssa Bentley's place. As you guys know, she hooked me up with some snails. I'm gonna repay the favor with some super red bristle nose, and they're lovely. They're just one of those fish that they aren't really doing anything, but they definitely bring me in to staring at them. You know what I mean? Like, they just have this they have this keen ability of just like, I gotta stare at this little, I don't even know what they're doing, but I'm gonna stare at them. And I really like them a lot. I have a great time with them. Let's talk about the plants in here a little bit for just a second. As you guys know, we've been working on some plants in here. This tank has been getting some resuscitation, and it's coming along pretty well. I wanted to point out this plant right here, this Pinatophyta. I had a lot of people commenting. Well, not a lot of people commenting. I had multiple people commenting that Pinatophyta has not worked out well for them. If you guys remember, I got that. Oh, where's the arrow? I'm gonna paste an arrow here. Where did the arrow go? Oh, I have to turn it on. The arrow's back. Let me clear the whiteboard. Where's the whiteboard? Access the whiteboard. Clear the whiteboard. Okay, now we have an arrow. Gosh, the arrows. If I could figure out how to properly orient the arrow live, I think the arrow is just going to be the jam from now on. I just have to go here, layout, and then do all this weird stuff. So that That is kind of weird. I got to figure out a new way to orient the arrow, but I think the arrow is pretty cool. I'm liking it. And it has like a shadow effect to it, which is pretty rad. Anywho's, so this Pinnatifida that was back here, if you guys remember, I got that. It was completely, like, it wasn't dead, but everything had just been sheared off. There really wasn't any plant to it. I had 4 pots of it that were like that because during shipping, somehow it got, like, flipped around upside down and just got mushed, you know, going the wrong way, which does happen sometimes to plants. And they were going to get rehabilitated at the aquarium co-op, and I was like, don't worry about it. I'll rehab them. Don't waste space rehabbing these guys. And that plant right there is still in the pot. I literally just dropped that pot. I dropped 2 of the pots, and that's one of them. I dropped 2 pots in there and just left them. I was like, what are these going to do just hanging out in the water column? And it just goes to show you that Pinnatifida does do a lot of feeding from the water column itself. That not only its roots are down in rock wool doesn't have anything in it, basically. If you guys notice, you get plants from a store or something like that. When you peel the rock wool open, oftentimes you'll find little fertilizer balls in there. And the reason for that is rock wool don't do much. It don't do much for holding on to nutrients and passing nutrients back and forth from the roots and things. And it's not going to do much for you. It's not going to work out that great if you were to try and use it as a substrate necessarily. But with some plants like Pinnatifida, it actually works out pretty well because they're pulling a ton of stuff from the water column. So you can see here that dosing Easy Green into the water column and Easy Iron into the water column definitely helped out and just allowed this plant to regrow in the rock wool pot. So it's pretty much getting everything from the water column at this point in time. Obviously, its roots are doing stuff and doing things, but this is just in the pot still. The stargrass that is down here in the front, the Heterantheria zasterifolia, I think is kind of close to what I got, is close to the Latin name for it. It's close. Sure I pronounced it wrong. I'm sure I'm not worried about it. I'm sure you guys aren't either. Anyhow, that plant has grown up so tall that you can't even see the pot. Can't even see the pot. Pot's right back here. So, how about that for a trick of aquascaping? Anytime I want to rescape, I can just grab that pot and move it somewhere else. Boom, rescape. You know what I mean? So, how about that little tip and trick for a Friday? Let's see here. Because it's Friday, we've got some Patreon questions to answer, so let's ramble back over here for a minute and go to some of our screen captures here. Thor Wright sent in, what's your recommendation for getting rid of blackbeard algae? So you guys know blackbeard algae is a big pain in the butt, big time pain in the butt. Getting rid of blackbeard algae, there are two things that you could do. You could get yourself some Seachem. What's their carbon? What's Seachem's carbon? Is it Excel? I think so. Seachem Excel. Couldn't figure out where the X was. Carbon for the planted aquarium. Copy this link and give it to you guys so you can look at it in the live chat. If you're watching this later, I post them in the live chat. So click that little button and you'll be able to see them. Right? That's a weird song. Sounds like an 80s song. Anyhow, there's a link there. You can get Flourish XL. This is the one that has glutaraldehyde in it, which is an algicide. You can utilize that. You have to do a triple dose every single day. So if you look on there, 100 milliliters treats 80 liters, 20, otherwise known as 20 U.S. gallons, for 1 to 2 months. So whatever the dosing is on the back there, figure out what it is for your tank, multiply it times 3, and do that every day for about 5-6 days, something like that. It'll turn red, and then it'll turn gray, and then it'll die, and whatever's in your tank will eat it. It is an algicide, so be careful. I'm telling you that's a way to do it. I've never had it kill crystal shrimp. I've never had it kill fish. I've never had anything like that happen. I'm not responsible. I'm just saying it is a way to kill it. Now, The easier way to do that would be relocate your lights a little bit, because typically blackbeard algae is almost always going to grow where there is an excess amount of lights hitting some kind of surface that has minerals in it. So you really have to think, like, okay, is this something that has minerals in it? Is it a type of rock? Is it a type of rock that could break down? It might be releasing some minerals into the water column, a little excess of nutrients and stuff like that, and an excess of light, right? Oh, is this like a piece of driftwood that could be breaking down a little bit? It could be a piece of driftwood that's breaking down a little bit and releasing a little minerals in there. So relocate the lights, relocate the hardscape things that the blackbeard algae is growing on. If you have it growing on plants, I typically will trim off any sections that have it growing like directly on the leaves or anything like that, and just allow the plant to regrow. But remember, if you do have plants, you need to trim them. Not aggressively. Aggressively is just a really weird way to describe it, but you need to trim them regularly and keep them motivated to keep growing and keeping algae off of them and stuff like that, so you don't have these super old leaves that are in the bright light and growing things like blackbeard algae on them. So keep that in mind. That's the route that I would go. Just make sure you don't have that super direct light on there. Swift Aquarium says, I use flagfish. Flagfish is a good idea, but I don't necessarily recommend that, because I don't recommend adding a fish directly just to whatever system, because you're having a problem with something pretty simple like algae. Algae can be just outcompeted by your plants by maintaining a good environment and stuff like that. If you do need to treat for it a little bit, I don't recommend people to go out and just buy a critter and add it to a tank that could be like just a really bad setup for a flagfish to be in, or a mono shrimp or something like that. I don't recommend people to go do that. It's like people going, they go out and they buy auto sinkless because they think like, oh, the autos will just eat all the algae off the glass and they'll just keep my glass clean for me. And it's like, well, they may or may not eat some of the algae off the glass. I mean, I know that they're cheap, so that's probably what most people's respect for that fish is they're just like, well, they're just super cheap, so I can just go get a bunch of them. But they go through a lot of hardship to be ending up in aquariums and being super cheap, and more often than not, they'll just end up dying off because people are just not prepared to take care of that fish. They're easy to catch a lot of them. That's why they're cheap. It's not that they're super easy to take care of. It's super easy for the people that catch them to catch a ton of them and ship them to stores. Right? So they come from second and third world countries that it's really easy to collect them because they poison the river and collect a ton of them and then send out like 10,000 at a time in one box. And then, the drop shippers that get them in, they put them in a bag, send them out to stores for cheap because they do not want to hold on to them because they're probably going to die. Jonathan Chong says, I use Excel, but a lesser concentration of my nano as my mono shrimp freak out whenever some goes into the water column. Okay. Excel makes my tanks cloudy when I tried it for blackbeard algae. That is weird. Now, as I've mentioned before, I give you guys my experience. I've not experienced either of those things. That's a perfect example right there. That's like, man, that's wild. A little bit wild. It has not happened to me, so I would like to find out the reasoning as, time goes on. It would be cool to find out the reasoning, but at the same time, we got to go on to the next question. But that's a perfect example right there. Two people that had totally different experiences than me, but I'm always trying to let you guys know what my experience is like. This is a hot update from our boy, the Fish Barn. What's the specific Fish Barn? I don't want to say his channel name wrong. The Fish Tank Barn. That's how we got it. Sorry. I left the tank part out. Mike Howie is the owner-operator of the Fish Tank Barn, which is his aquarium scaping area. That's where he's working on his aquariums, his aquarium projects. He has a newer channel out there, so if you have a chance to go check him out, go check him out if you get a chance. This first post right here is the update of the fish barn downstairs over the holiday. He says, over the holidays, I made some changes in the fish barn. I moved the goldfish pond and TV to different locations in the fish room, and the newly added and a new added island in their place. Attached is a picture of both sides of the island. So if you go over to Patreon, you can check out these pictures, see what's going on with the fish tank barn. I'm always excited for that, and that's awesome. I love to hear about it. I love to hear about your guys' projects, man. If I get a chance, that's one thing I love about Patreon. You guys are able to post pictures up and really show us like what's going on, or even if you have like a really detailed question, you can send that kind of stuff in. It's pretty cool. So this next post is from the same character himself, Mike Howie from the Fish Tank Barn. Update part 2, the upstairs. It says he also finished the upstairs, which used to be a work area. Here is a picture of the new upstairs, and that's pretty cool, man. And Alyssa Bentley commented on here, says your upstairs can hold these big fish tanks, and that was the exact thought that I had as I was like, that's a lot of weight upstairs. Now, M. Howie 9, he's a gangster. He knows what's going on. He probably did some math. He did some engineering. He knows about steel. He knows about buildings and stuff, so I assume he's okay. But that was my initial thought, too. I was like, wow, man, you got a ton of weight upstairs. I would be concerned about that, but, you know, that's the deal, right? Is that how it goes? It's Nature Man says, is it normal for new Amazon sword leaves to come in red? Yes, depending on the Amazon sword. Let's see. Bentley Pascal says Dean has bred them. I actually talked with him last weekend when you randomly bumped into each other. Oh, I like that. And he says, and Joel has bred them too. Yes, I actually bred Ottos back in the day. Quite a long time ago. I used to breed them in those big shallow tanks that I built. I built a bunch of big shallow, what are they? Like 60 gallon, 80 gallon, something like that. They're like 4 foot by 3 foot by a foot tall or something like that. I don't know. I forget. But yeah, I was breeding them in those big shallow tanks that I had, and it was a lot of fun. I definitely would love to have some autosynchronous again, but I don't know when that'll happen. It might happen. It might not happen. I don't know. All right, so let's see. What was our next post? I'm sorry, I got lost in your guys' chat. I do get lost in your guys' chat sometimes. Okay, so there's we already talked about Shelby. Where's my other screenshot? Okay, that was M. Howie. That was M. Howie. And that was Thor. Oh, that's right. Well, we only had 3 posts from last week, so I'm going to highlight those 3 posts, and I guess we're going to move on. And moving on. Let's go back to the video for a minute. Oh, that's scene 5. Scene 5 is no good. I accidentally went into scene 5. Sorry about that, guys. Scene 5 is not programmed. So if we go into scene 5, seems like we dropped the show. Anyhow, let's get back to the chat for a minute. Let's see, Aquatic Apprentice just showed up. What's up? All right. Oh, let's do our requisite business thing. We got to hit the like spike so that the robots know that you guys like us. Blah, blah, blah. Hit the like button. Are you not subscribed? Have you shared this with your grandma yet? You should probably share this with your grandma because your grandma's a real important person and she likes YouTube, I think. Right? 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 Let's see. 160 people watching today. Thanks, everybody, for showing up. I definitely dig that. Kiwi Mamos has just popped a pic and comment into Patreon. May have to refresh to see it. I can't post anything while the show is live, so you need to get your stuff in before the show begins. You have to get it in before the show begins because I have to review it. Somebody could post a picture that could be considered racy in there, and then the next thing you know, the people at Patreon would get mad. Nathan Kota says, ever kept Endlers? Looking for a tank mate recommendations. Yes, I kept Endlers, kept Black Bar Endlers, Tiger Endlers, whatever the blue variant is. What are they? Aquamarine, some fancy name. Yeah, I kept Endlers for a long time. I really liked them, and I'm kind of lamenting the Rummy Nose Tetris here. So I might be netting the Rummy Nose out of here so I could put something like Endlers or Tiger Endlers. I want to get some Tiger Endlers again. They're like yellow with black spots. And they're... I don't know if you guys have noticed, I have tattoos of bees all over me. Like, I love things that are yellow and black. And I don't think the Rummy Nose are coming through with the yellow and black, you know, the needs that I have. Yellow and black fish. So I think I'm going to try and get myself some Tiger Endlers. I got to find somebody that has some really nice ones. I know that a lot of people were freaking out about Bentley's what is he has, the blue panda guppies. Like, they are really cool. But I'm not super passionate about those ones specifically. So I didn't really push to be like, hey man, give me a pair of those. And they are kind of a high ticket item, so I didn't want to encroach on that. But Tiger Endlers are kind of like not a high ticket item. Creedmoor says, "Oh man, not the Rummy Noses. No worries. I have a cooler idea. I have a cooler idea for the Rummies to replace the Rummy Nose in a different tank. So I do want a fish like the Rummy Nose, but there's one that I've become very interested in, and there's one that I became very interested in, and I think I'm gonna place an order for him. I need to make sure that I have the money in place before I order it, though, and then get them quarantined. So it'll probably be a couple weeks before that happens. But I just want to make sure that I have enough money to do that before I go ahead and pull the trigger and be like, yeah, let's do this thing. Nathan Kota says, I have the Cobra Endlers that look like a Walmart version of Tiger Endlers. Ooh, Cobra Endlers are cool too. Yeah. Valerie says, hey Joel, sorry late, but I need help. I got plenty of guppies, but this is the first time I got to get my small catfish eggs out. They have hatched and was wondering what to feed them. Every time I bred any kind of catfish or cory fish, it was on accident. So I probably wouldn't be the best. I would do a quick Google search and see what is usable that you may or may not have. But the most common food that I normally would use would be infusoria. I would normally do infusoria, baby brine shrimp typically for small stuff, but infusoria is going to be the way to go. If I was doing breeding projects like I used to in the past, I used to have all these tanks where I would just grow tons of Java moss and stuff like that and just let it get gnarly and let all the bugs grow in there and all that little stuff. And I would cut chunks out of that and use that as my food. That was kind of one of the main things that I would do with my food source. So then eventually mosquito larvae, stuff like that as you get kind of bigger. One easy way to supplement food with something that almost everybody has is, hard boil some eggs. Take the white part, eat the egg white part yourself, because that's, dude, let's be honest here. When it comes to a hard-boiled egg, the white part is the delicious part, right? Let's just be honest here. Hard-boiled egg, the egg white is the delicious part, not so much the yolk. Now, if we're talking scrambled eggs, if we're talking basted eggs, if we're talking poached eggs, if we're talking omelets, we're talking any of that stuff, when they're mixed up, that's the jammy and it's super good. But if we're talking about hard-boiled eggs, take the yolk out, break the yolk down in a little bit of fish tank water. I mean, you just need a little tiny chunk. Break that down in a little bit of fish tank water, put it in an eyedropper, and then direct feed the area. That's something that almost everybody has. And that's something that you can do for those little babies as they start to pop out and start searching for food. And I forget off the top of my head whether or not catfish have an egg sac or not, but you always want to kind of get a really good look at whether or not fish fry has an egg sac or not, or whether or not you need to feed right away. But if you're adding food in while they have an egg sac, they're not really going to be eating. They're not really going to be eating that much. So, you want to wait until the egg sac kind of gets absorbed up in there a little bit, and then they have power and a little bit of. They're going to have a little. What's the word? Appetite. There we go. So you don't just want to like put food in there that they're not going to eat and make the water all gross. Listen, Bentley says, although I'm doing a breeding experiment with rainbow tiger antlers and regular tiger antlers, I like the shine on the rainbows, but prefer the spots on the regulars. Ooh, nice. Nice. Candy Overhaul says, guppies will troll me. Yeah, you're probably right. Somebody back here was asking about, what were you guys asking about? Clown killies. Yes, I had clown killies for many years and bred them, went through a bunch of seasons with clown killies, had a great time with them, and they just kept ending up in all sorts of my tanks. My old tanks, I used to do rimless, I used to do 100% rimless tanks. Well, I didn't, not 100% rimless tanks, but the main tanks I used to do were rimless nano tanks. And the crazy thing about clown killies is that they will go tank to tank to tank if you have them placed close together. They'll go in there, spray some eggs, and their eggs are impervious to even drying out. So if they'd spray eggs on something and I'd pull the plant out or pull like a piece of driftwood out or a rock or something like that and I had those eggs stuck to it, you'd even like let it dry out in a tote for 6 months, put it into a new tank, and a couple weeks later, next thing you know, you got clown killie babies in there. You're just like, what is going on? I haven't even had clown killies for a long time. Love clown killies. A lot of fun to take care of. Definitely a cool fish to just be staring down those bright blue eyes, those little tiny bright blue eyes. And I would love to get an opportunity to go take some photos of them now that I have some I have much better cameras now than I did at the time. That would be fun. All right, we are coming up on the end of the show because I got to get back to work. I have other work to do. We're going to do the show, and we did the show. And I got to get back to, I have to do some plumbing work. I have to cut a hole in the wall and put a vent to outside. I got to finish that. And I also got to install the washer and dryer. I have a ton of stuff to do. I got to get rocking and rolling. Do my best to get a video out to you guys sometime soon. I want to say thank you very much to everybody coming out today and coming out to hang out. We only had 3 super chatters today. Mr. Rumbust, who's been supporting us for a long time. I want to say mad props. Thank you very much. I know there was a bunch of people lurking because we had 164 people watching today. What was our highest? 170. Looks like 170 people were watching today. Thank you very much to all the lurkers out there. If you feel like sending me an email, feel free to send me an email, joel@darkstararts.com. The Darkstar Arts is all one word. The .com is the part at the end, the @ is the part in the middle, and the first part is my name, Joel, unlike the people at Starbucks that apparently spell my name like this now. If you follow me on Facebook, you would have seen my post of how they wrote my name. It is absurd. Absurd. Totally absurd. I don't even know how you get that. But my name is Joel, and thanks for tuning in today. I very much appreciate it. Very much appreciate everybody that's lurking. You can check out some of the old episodes on Podbean. If you look up the name of my channel on Podbean, you will find it. And big thanks to Alvin Alejo and Dan Squires for doing your work on there. Definitely totally dig it. Dan Squires just posted the GoFundMe for our #1 fan, Caleb Overhauls, who is our guy. He's going through childhood leukemia, and you can go read the story there. If you go over to Caleb Overhauls on GoFundMe, check it out. I want to say mad props to everybody that's helped contribute there. I hope to go contribute in person sometime sooner than later. You know what I'm saying? Stuff, things, words, and very much thank you to everybody for going over to Amazon and buying stuff and making sure to go through a portal. That's always a good thing, I guess. I want to say thanks to everybody who's helping support the show via Aquarium Co-op. Oh, where did my little Easy Green thing go? I had an Easy Green bottle that I found. I was trolling around on the internet. I guess trolling's the wrong word. Scrolling. I was scrolling around on the internet like somebody who internets on the internet, and I found this awesome PNG file of the Aquarium Co-op Easy Green, and I was like, man, I should probably save that. And it came in super handy today. So, yeah, I mean, go over to Aquarium Co-op and buy all of the Easy Green. It's what I use. I bought a big giant one. I got a big giant one. I bought the big jug because you can just fill up the bottle. And then it's just way easier to, like, not have to, like, get more. Time is of the essence. I got a baby around here. I got to drill holes in walls. It's all crazy. Time is of the essence to buy the big giant one. Anyhow, love you all. Let me know in the comments down below later. Or shoot me an email and tell me I'm totally crazy for not wanting to go to conventions. I don't know. Let me know. Let me know what you think. Give me your 2 cents. Give me your 2 cents. I want to know. Maybe you're a lurker, but just throw a comment in there. Like convention or tour or something. I don't know. What would be the thing? What would be the thing that you would be more interested in? Because I feel like I'm almost... I have an obligation to it. The people on YouTube, the fans, the people that have been supporting the show for a really long time, I feel like I have an obligation as the ambassador of, you know, even the people that just chip in to help fund the show. Like, I feel like ambassador is maybe the wrong word. I might be looking for something else. I might be looking for a different word. But like, I'm the caretaker of the funds to try and make this show better and try and make this show better and try and do better shows and try and do better videos and stuff like that. And I don't feel like the convention thing is the way to go at this point. Let's see. Nebraska SXHC says you wipe the nozzle spout off. To be honest with you, this is my only complaint with the Easy Green is that I have to constantly wipe the schnozzle off. Otherwise, it does that split stream thing. And if there's any dude out there, if there's any dudes listening to this show, which, by the way, somehow we've gotten to 93% dudes and 7% women subscribe to the channel. I have no idea how this is possible. I have no idea how that's going on. I have no idea. I have no clue how we could have such disparagingly weird numbers as far as our, male to female ratio. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But anyhow, I digress. But any dudes out there know exactly what I'm talking about with the split stream spout, spout thing. All right, forget it. All right, man. I love y'all. Have a great, fantastic weekend. Hope to see you on the internet sometime soon. Bye-bye.